Creating a quiz in Moodle is a two-step process. Firstly, you need to create the quiz framework using various settings to determine how the quiz will appear to the student and how the student will interact with the quiz. The second step is to create and add the questions. Part 1 of this screencast will demonstrate how to create the quiz framework, and Part 2 will demonstrate how to create and add the questions. To create the quiz, turn editing on, select Add an activity or resource, select Quiz and click on the Add button. You will now be prompted to name and describe your quiz. You may want to add a brief introduction for students in the description field box and select Display Description on Course Page. The next step is to set the timing for your quiz. Firstly, enable the Open Quiz settings and set the date and the time that you want the quiz to start. Next, enable the Close Quiz settings and set the date and time that you want the quiz to close. You can also set a timer to restrict the length of time the student is allowed to complete the quiz. If you select this timer option, you will also need to decide what happens when this time expires. There are 3 choices in the drop-down menu. For more information on these choices, click on the question mark icon to the left of the drop-down menu. If you select to allow a grace period when open attempts can be submitted but no more questions can be answered, you must also select the time frame for this grace period. The grading settings allow you to link the quiz to the Moodle gradebook if you have already set up a gradebook for your course. A separate screencast will demonstrate how to set up a gradebook in Moodle. If a gradebook has been created, you can select this grade category from the drop-down menu. You can also set the number of attempts a student can make at the quiz, and you can allow the highest, average, first attempt or last attempt to be added to the gradebook. You can choose to order your questions as they are shown on the edit screen, or you can choose to shuffle them randomly. You can create a new page for every question, every number of questions, or you can choose to have all your questions appear on the same page. The question behaviour, review options and feedback options will be discussed in a separate screencast. There are also several ways to restrict access to your quiz. Commonly used restrictions include setting a time frame or restricting access to the quiz until another activity has been completed. A separate screencast available in this video bank outlines how to use the restrict access settings for all activities in Moodle. The quiz framework has now been created, and the next step is to save and display and add some questions. This process will be demonstrated in part 2 of this screencast.